Hi everyone, my name is Jillian, and in this role play assignment, we will be demonstrating interpersonal psychotherapy. In this time-structured intervention, we will be exploring relationship building, problem assessment, and goal setting. The group is made up of 5 adults of diverse ages to discuss their thoughts and feelings of anxiety around problematic relationships in their life. The stage that the group is at in Tuckman's model is forming. Forming is also known as the introductory stage of his model, where members are able to get to know each other. They're polite, they're patient. We establish the ground rules as a group, as well as building trust among each other, and also defining the goals as a whole. I would like to note that in my implementation plan in my paper, I have discussed my members in the group having anxiety and depression, but specifically for this role play, my members will be discussing feelings of anxiety only. Hi everyone, my name is Jillian and I will be your group facilitator today in this session. We will be discussing feelings or thoughts of anxiety and seeing if there's any social factors that are affecting these feelings and how to change them. Just to start off our session, I know this is our second session in our intervention. We got to know each other a little bit, made our introductions in the first session. And I want to start this session off with an icebreaker. So my question for you guys today is, what is one word that describes how you are feeling today and why? And I'll give you guys just a few minutes or seconds to think about it.
I can go first.
Okay, thank you, Jackie.
I think one word that would definitely describe how I'm feeling this week is stuck. I'm currently a graduate student. I've been placed in a group project where I don't know anybody, and there's another certain member of the group that has a different work style than I do. And I know there's no one else I can work with, and I don't really know how to talk about my work style and what I'd like to contribute. So I feel kind of trapped and stuck.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I'd like to dive deeper into that later in our session. Is there anyone else who would like to share how they're feeling today?
I'll share. I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I've just been running around all day, and now I have to start making dinner, and I haven't had a second to myself all day. I feel like my husband and my daughter both expect me to be at their beck and call all the time, and I don't, I'm at my wit's end.
I'm sorry to hear that. I understand that's frustrating. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I can go.
Yeah, I'll go. Dara, I'm actually gonna steal your word. That's exactly how I'm feeling, overwhelmed as well. I'm in a new position at work right now. I just started as a manager for the company that I'm working with, and I'm a little younger than most of the people there, and I've been having a lot of pushback from some of the older employees about whether my ideas are right or wrong, and it's been feeling very, very difficult to deal with that age gap that I feel like I don't know how to work around.
Thank you, Zachary, for sharing. Completely understand that that does sound difficult. So we will be discussing that in the future. Rose or Dimple, would you like to share?
I can go. Um, so I think the word that best describes how I'm feeling right now is somewhat fearful. Um, I feel stretched really, really thin, and I understand the need for social support and social interaction, and I want that. I want to have that balance. Um, but I'm just so busy lately that I am turning down a lot of social opportunities, and I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my social network, and wind up losing those supports because I'm saying no so much of the time. So that's kind of what's been looming over my head is just trying to figure out how to make more time for the social outlets.
Thank you. Yes, balancing is definitely hard, so I appreciate you speaking on that. And then Rose, would you like to share?
Yeah. I would say I'm feeling a bit insecure. The reason why is because I started a new job. Plenty of the girls in my company, we're all the same age. I feel like they're all doing very well. They're working different positions. I'm on a lower position than them. And it just puts me in a very awkward position. I feel like I'm a bit behind. And I've been doing a lot of comparison, if that makes sense, thinking, oh, they're my age. They seem to be doing very well. They're getting promoted. And I mean, I understand that they've been at the company much longer, but I guess I just worry about what life is going to be like for me, or, if this is where I'm going to stay, because I'm still trying to figure out what it is I want to do for my future. So yeah, I would say insecure.
Okay. Well, thank you all for sharing. Those are big feelings that we're having. They all definitely have to do with feelings of anxiety. So thank you for sharing those. I appreciate it. I just want to summarize our last meeting so we could discuss what our objective is for this meeting. So at our last initial meeting, we made our introductions. I'm happy to have a nice group of diverse clients with some diverse problems that you guys are having. Um, and we did come up with a commonality that the shared goal for this group is how to reduce helpful ways to reduce anxiety, and making them healthy and conducive. So do we all agree that that is our desired outcome? Okay, good. Thank you. So before we get started, I would just like to reiterate some ground rules for this session. I want to remind you that this session is completely confidential, so it's just between the members within this group. So we will not be sharing anything that our members have shared out of respect for each other. This is also a non-judgmental and honest environment. So make sure that even your body language and your thoughts, like let's make them positive and non-judgmental to your uh, cohorts in this session, because some members might feel already you're already all anxious. You might even feel anxious just to share this information. And lastly, participation is encouraged, but it is not mandatory. So to start this session, how has everyone's week been? How has everyone's past week been? Has there been any social problems that you've identified within the past week in your life that maybe stuck out to you, like, oh, maybe this doesn't make me feel so good, or maybe this makes you feel some sort of way? Okay, Dimple, go ahead.
So I'm gonna piggyback on the word that seems to be floating around here a lot, and that's overwhelmed. It was just a really overwhelming week. And again, I couldn't make time to enjoy the social part of self-care. Um, because I just was pulled in so many different directions between taking care of the kids, and my husband was away, um and my elderly mom needed some support because her caregiver was also off, and I just I'm completely overwhelmed, and I don't know how to be enough of everything for everyone.
Thank you for sharing, Dimple. It seems like you're having a difficult time saying no to some of your peers, which seems like a commonality for a lot of working moms or just women in general. So, does anyone else have any feedback for Dimple or any commonalities that you would like to share regarding feeling overwhelmed?
I'll share because I think Dimple and I have a lot of things in common. And I think I also am searching for some time for myself and some self-care, but I feel that if I don't do things for my daughter, that I feel like like very nervous that something terrible is going to happen. And I feel like I'm drawn when I maybe carve out a little time for myself and then it disappears. I should be able to say no. And like Dimple was saying, and do that self-care, but I can't because I start to panic that something is going to go wrong. And I can't say no to her. And I don't know how to do it. So to get back to Dimple for a second, I understand, and it's the overwhelming lack of time for yourself, whatever you need to do, that it just can be so burdensome.
Right. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that does seem difficult. Saying no is a tough thing, especially for people that you care for. So, um, are there any other ways maybe we could talk about discussing that would be helpful for you guys? Anyone else want to share any feelings or um, stressful feelings of anxiety they've had this week? Rose, go ahead.
Um, I would definitely say I really much relate to Dimple and Dara because like I said, I'm in a position where I kind of am unsure about, what my path is going to look like. And I've been going back and forth with my mom because, we come from a very traditional Asian household. So when it comes to my future and what I want to study, she's telling me do nursing or do pharmacy, but I really don't see that for myself. And I find that, saying no is very difficult, but, sometimes having little conversations with my mom, just explaining to her why I feel like I don't see myself in nursing or pharmacy has been helpful. But I do feel bad because I could see how disappointed she is too when I tell her I don't really want to do nursing or pharmacy. But I think just little communication just to share um why you think what's good for you works would be helpful. But I understand it may be different for everybody.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Rose. I think that expectations also have to do a lot with feelings of anxiety. Um, I think setting proper expectations, just like we did in this session, is good for yourself as the individual and also good for your social relationships. Jackie or Zachary, would you like to share?
I'll share. Unlike some other people in the group, I do have a little bit more time for self-care, I think, throughout the week. But the problem that I have is being able to enjoy it. Like as soon as I sit down to read or to watch TV or even just have a cup of coffee, I start to feel almost guilty, like I should be doing something more. I should be studying more. I should learn different type of group tactics so that I can conform to what everybody else wants to do. So that's been difficult.
I completely understand. That does seem difficult, especially with your busy life as a student. Yes, you might say that you have more time, but also you should be validated in that you do have a lot of work on your plate as a student. And also, you mentioned that the group, one of your group members, you're having some conflict with, so that can't be easy either. So I appreciate you sharing that. Zachary, would you like to share?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to address what Rose was starting with before. I feel like her and I are actually in pretty opposite positions where, right, Rose was saying that you just started your new job and you feel like, oh, maybe you're not at the same place where some people the same age of you as you are at, and like, you might be a little like judgmental of yourself. And I completely understand that because I'm in a position where I feel like all of my coworkers are looking down on me because of my age. And now, like, maybe my role is filled with a predominantly older age gap. Um, and I just go in there and sometimes I feel like, am I here too early? And I feel like I'm beating myself up too much, and it just creates way too many problems. I get like way too anxious and build up these like what if scenarios in my head of like that just might not come true, probably won't come true, but I overthink. I overthink if I'm overstepping my boundaries at work and or if I'm understepping. Sometimes I'm scared to reach out and be like a little more assertive, but. Yeah, I definitely understand that work struggle.
Thank you, Zachary, for sharing. And I wanted to let you guys know, I forgot to say this earlier, that I'm just taking a couple notes right here regarding what you guys were saying in case I wasn't looking directly at you guys. But I do appreciate you sharing. Based on some things that I've heard today in this session, an overarching theme that comes to mind other than feelings of anxiety are expectations. So to me, almost every single member has discussed in some way or form that the expectations of them for other people are what's most important, but also most stressful for them in their own, for all of you in your own lives. So for Dimple, it's making plans with her friends. For Jackie, it's expecting to do more work without prioritizing self-care. Jackie's expected by her I mean, Rose is expected by her family to go to maybe a more prestigious career. And Dara's also family matters, and Zachary's also work matters as well. So expectations seem to be a really big theme here, and ways to reduce that is what I think would be really important in our next session. It does look like our time is coming to an end for this session today, but what I would like you guys to prepare for our next session is what's one thing we can change regarding expectations of yourselves in the next week? Say it's as a mom, Dara, you're expected to make your daughter breakfast. Maybe she can make it herself. Or for Jackie, maybe you're expected to do it's assignments in advance for your college. Maybe you can just stick to week by week and take it day by day so you don't overwhelm yourselves. Um, with that being said, is there anything anyone else would like to share before we end this meeting today? No? Okay, well, I just want to thank you so much for attending, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.